The Dallas Mavericks are currently sitting on a 3-game win streak after beating the New Orleans Pelicans as they prepare for the rematch game Friday against the Denver Nuggets, hoping to even the score. And although the Dallas Mavericks are playing their best brand of basketball where everyone's contributing, everyone's getting involved, a lot of people still believe we're one piece away from going back to the finals and winning the whole thing. And earlier today, the odds makers came out and said that the Dallas Mavericks have the 4th best odds of landing Joel Embiid in a trade. So in this video, we're going to take a look at what these odds really are, who else has good odds to get Joel Embiid, and whether or not that's even a reality for the Dallas Mavericks. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, we're currently sitting at 14,709 subscribers, less than 300 subscribers away of hitting our goal of 15K. If you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, the live streams, the watch longs, the news vids, and everything else in between, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But like I said in the intro, the Dallas Mavericks are on a 3-game win streak, and I understand that the last 3 teams we beat were pretty hobbled. I mean, we beat the Pelicans, where 90% of their payroll was out of the game. We beat the San Antonio Spurs, but they were also missing Victor Wembanyama as well as Devin Vassell. We also beat the Oklahoma City Thunder, who was the number 2 team in the West, but they also had significant injuries. They didn't have Isaiah Hartenstein, no Chet Holmgren, and even though we were beating beat up teams with injuries, that really doesn't matter. You can't really brag about beating a team that had no chance of beating you, but you can brag about in the way that you did it, that we played the right brand of basketball. In last night's game against the New Orleans Pelicans, Luka could have easily gone off for a 40-point triple-double, just hitting 12 to 15 threes, doing it all by himself. But instead, he opted in to play team basketball, looking to pass first before even creating for himself, playing amazing defense from the opening tip. The Dallas Mavericks are slowly but surely really finding their way, and that even extends past our starters, because Klay Thompson also had a very good shooting game last night. He made 5 of his threes, but our bench has been looking amazing. Naji Marshall, ever since that game against the Pacers, has just been amazing game after game, just being very productive, able to score, defend, bring the ball down. He's the knife, the Swiss Army knife, and he proves it night in and night out. And although he was off to a pretty rough start to the season, even got a DNP himself, Quentin Grimes has quickly found his role in this team as the energy guy. Like Naji Marshall, he can bring the ball down, he can defend, he can make all the hustle plays. He really is an upgrade from Josh Green, even though I do still miss Josh Green. I do love what I'm seeing from Quentin Grimes, and I hope it continues where those 2 guys off the bench continue to have a great season, helping us make it back to the finals. But apparently, that's not enough for most people. They think that that's not nearly enough. That Naji Marshall, Quentin Grimes, and Klay Thompson, they're not going to get it done. PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford, that's not enough. Well, the odds makers also agree that that's not enough either, as earlier today, it was announced that the Indiana Pacers are the favorites to land Joel Embiid in a potential trade. But if you look down at the number 4 spot, the Dallas Mavericks also have some pretty good odds, and the odds between the Pacers and the Mavericks aren't that too far off. And if we take a look here, I mean, let's be honest. Will the Dallas Mavericks get Joel Embiid? No. Unless you really want to destroy this team, you will have to trade either Luka, Kyrie, or Klay. One of those 3 guys, a bunch of picks, and some young players are going to leave if Philadelphia, for whatever reason, wants to trade Joel Embiid. But the Indiana Pacers, I don't think he'd go there either. I mean, they've got Miles Turner. They also have, they're very close to that cap on the salary, so I'm not sure if they could even put together a package that would work for them. And they're already doing better than the Sixers, so why would they even want to trade with them? The New York Knicks, same deal. They just got Karl Anthony Towns. They also are very close to that salary cap. I think they're past that first apron already. So unless you're trading Cat out to Philly, they're not getting Joel Embiid either. They also gave up like 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges, so that's not happening. The Brooklyn Nets, I mean, if you want to pair up Ben Simmons with Joel Embiid yet again, go right ahead. They do have Cam Thomas, who's been just amazing as a scorer all year. They also have a good bit of draft picks from New York, so maybe Brooklyn really does have the best odds out of these teams. But then there's the Dallas Mavericks. Why in the world would we ever trade for Joel Embiid? I don't know about you guys. I don't like watching him play. I don't need a 7-foot center who's taking all of the shots, who is going to take the majority of our shots, who is never available, always getting hurt, always falling down. And I'm not a Philadelphia fan, but I can only imagine how Philly fans feel where, yeah, he's our best player. We're glad he's here. We're glad that he's able to help us win games. But if Joel Embiid were to get traded, I doubt many Philly fans would even be upset by it. I'm pretty sure they're ready for Tyrese Maxey to take over and really just lead this team. But Joel Embiid has won an MVP, but let's see how good has he been this season, actually. Joel Embiid has been dealing with a bit of injuries, hasn't really been playing up to that MVP level, but in the few short games that he's already played, he's putting up 14.7 points, 6.3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, zero point 0.3 steals, 3.3 turnovers, and 2 fouls per game. He's committing more turnovers than he is blocks. That's and almost more turnovers than assists. Joel Embiid off to a really rough start to the season. Maybe that's why they want to trade him. He's also shooting 32% from the field and 15% from three. I understand he came into the season late. He was dealing with injuries. This is a very, very small sample size. So obviously the rule of averages is going to look a lot better towards the trade deadline when he plays more games, if he's going to play more games. But I don't think Joel Embiid is the answer for the Dallas Mavericks. I honestly don't think there's any trade we really need to pursue unless you're giving me a prime Kobe Bryant or a prime Michael Jordan. I don't think that there's a player available on the market. And let me say it again. I don't think there's a player available on the market that the Dallas Mavericks could realistically go out, get, and make this team even better. But Nico Harrison has made a lot of crazy magical trades happen, so who knows? Maybe we get Lauri Markkanen, or maybe we do get a Kevin Durant. Maybe Nico Harrison just pulls a rabbit out of a hat and we just magically make it back to the finals. But I don't think if a trade were to go down, it would involve Joel Embiid. I've said it many times. I don't think that we're missing a piece. I think we need the pieces to work. I said earlier, we've got the guys looking very good right now. Najee Marshall looking great. Quentin Grimes looking good. Even Jaden Hardy is looking great. Klay Thompson, hit or miss here or there. He's obviously not the same prime Klay Thompson that he once was in Golden State, but he is still there hitting threes when we need them. And Kyrie's looking like an all-star this year. Derrick Lively and Daniel Gafford, two sides of the same coin, are two of the most efficient big men in the league. The Dallas Mavericks are a lot better than our record shows. We are 8-7, but we really are playing like one of the best teams in the West. We've just been off to a pretty rough start, which is pretty usual for the Dallas Mavericks. If you've been a fan long enough, you know those starts aren't beautiful. But like I always said, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But why are people talking about trading Joel Embiid? Why is his name floating around of where he may go? Well, this might have something to do with it. It was reported the other day that Tyrese Maxey reportedly called out Joel Embiid for always being late. In the meeting, Maxey challenged Embiid to be on time to team activities, calling out the former league MVP about being late for everything and how it impacts the locker room. From other players to the coaching staff, sources briefed on the meeting told ESPN. That is saying a lot. Now, I've always been a big fan of Tyrese Maxey. I think he's a great player. I don't think they would trade him anytime soon, but if he does become a free agent, I know he's got a big rookie extension that he's currently on, so if he were to be a free agent in the next few years, that's around the time that Kyrie and Klay would probably be retired. Yeah, sure, free agency. Come on, Tyrese Maxey. Let's throw you a super max. Let's pair you up with a more mature Luka Doncic by that time. You got a more mature Derrick Lively. I think that's a pretty good trio. But Joel Embiid, who's late to activities, late to everything, that's definitely going to kill his trade value. Now, Joel Embiid does make a good bit of money. He's on a super max contract. That's not easy to push. The Dallas Mavericks, as well as many of those other teams that were on the list of who has the best odds of getting him, are either over the cap or they're right at the cap. I mean, we are right at the first apron. So there's no way that we make a trade for Joel Embiid that would actually help us financially and also help us win games. But this is very telling. Maybe Joel Embiid learned a thing or two from James Harden when he was there, that when you're the star, you can do whatever you want. You can be late. But unfortunately, when you're playing bad, when you're always injured, when you're not there to help your team, being late is probably the last thing that you should honestly be doing. And why do we need to pass up on Joel Embiid, even though he was a former MVP, even though, yes, a fully healthy Joel Embiid is one of the best centers in the league? I'm going to tell you right here, right now, that I am happy with the centers that I have. I am happy with second-year Derrick Lively. I'm happy with, fifth-year Daniel Gafford. Those two guys, at the price tag that we're paying for, is amazing. Two centers that are very similar, where one is more defensive. You know, they provide more defense in Derrick Lively, but one's a little bit more inclined on the offensive end in Daniel Gafford. Two sides of the same coin, and that is a luxury that we have. And just how good are Derrick Lively and Daniel Gafford? Well, let's take a look right here. Daniel Gafford this season, 12.6 points per game, 6.5 rebounds, 1.3 blocks, shooting 70% from the field, number one field goal percentage in the NBA. And obviously, as a big man, he's not taking no middies. He's not shooting long twos. That's all at the rim. But when you're only 6'10", going up against just all the 7-footers in the world, Daniel Gafford still has the best field goal percentage. 12 points per game, that's a pretty decent sample size. It's not like he's averaging 4 points per game. And then Derrick Lively with 8 points per game, 6.8 rebounds, 1.5 blocks per, 8.6 points per game, 6.8 rebounds per game, and 1.5 blocks per game, is shooting 69% from the floor. Number 2 field goal percentage in the NBA. The Dallas Mavericks are 7-4 in games they both played in this season. There you go right there. You can keep Joel Embiid. You can keep any other big man that you guys might be thinking about going after. I got Derrick Lively. I got Daniel Gafford. And I'm fine with that. I will live and die with those results. But the 76ers, they have a real problem on their hands because when you have Joel Embiid, when you got Paul George, when you got Tyrese Maxey, there is absolutely no reason that your record looks like this. I know it's probably hard to see, but I'll tell you right now, look at the very bottom. Now, everybody says the East is very weak, but the 76ers are 2-11. So maybe they do trade Joel Embiid. Maybe halfway through this season, if they don't climb out from being at the bottom of the East, they need to make a move. Why do they make a move? Their first round pick next for this upcoming draft for Cooper Flag, if they get a top pick, that would go to the Oklahoma City Thunder. We don't like the Oklahoma City Thunder. I know we also don't like the Sixers, but unless you want Cooper Flag to go right to OKC, Sixers got to get it together, but I would also understand if they have a whole fire sale halfway through the season, if they really don't think that they can pull it together. But moving Joel Embiid, who is injury-ridden, who's got a fat contract, that's going to be very hard to move. I don't think there's going to be many teams just out there just trying to get Joel Embiid. But like I said, we got Derrick Lively, we got Daniel Gafford, but you know who else we have? A player that a lot of people like to forget. Ooh, I'm all over the place. We got Dwight Powell. Yeah, we got Luka Doncic. He is a superhero, but we got Dwight Powell. We got one of the best third-string centers in the league, a guy who's always ready, who's always available. He's more healthy than Joel Embiid. Someone that I know who's going to go on the floor and try his all. He may get hit in the head, but he's not out there flopping. He's not falling down over the slightest contact. I trust Dwight Powell way more than I trust Joel Embiid, and that's a fact. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think that we should possibly go after Joel Embiid? Do you think he'd be a good fit? Or are you like me? It's like Joel Embiid, good luck in Philly. No one's really going to want you, especially no one here in Dallas. Let me know what you guys think, and we can have a conversation about it. But that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing a giveaway every single month on this channel, and the only way to enter our giveaway is to become a channel member of any tier. But until next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.